I'm now left in the impossible stark position that a politician never wants to find themselves in. If I was a cynic, which I am not, I believe the outcome is more about opinion polls than telecoms polls. It's more about optics than fibre optics. For my family, for my constituents, and more importantly, for the 1.1 million people who are waiting for this essential service, a vital service to ordinary people in rural Ireland, I have given on Taoiseach my resignation.
Yesterday evening, I sought a meeting with former Minister Naughton, at which I asked him to outline to me his interactions with Mr David McCourt. I was satisfied with the explanations he gave. He subsequently contacted me by telephone shortly before midnight last night to inform me that he just remembered that he had a private dinner with Mr McCourt in Mr McCourt's home in 2017. Deputy Naughton suggested that in order to protect the NBP project, that he be reshuffled to another ministry, or that responsibility for broadband be assigned to another minister. I met with Deputy Naughton again this morning, and during the meeting he informed me that he had at least 3 other private dinners with Mr McCourt. There were no officials present, and there are no minutes. He had not informed me of these additional meetings, either when we met yesterday or when we met last night. I have no doubt that his intentions were honourable at all points, but I do believe he left himself open to allegations of a conflict of interest and an inappropriate relationship with Mr McCourt. As a result of this, I asked him to reflect on his position. He asked that he be allowed to explain his position to the Dáil, which I agreed to. I have since received his resignation in writing and have accepted it.
Just to give my own instant analysis on that, the Taoiseach statement saying that Richard Bruton, who's the oldest, safest pair of hands, elected to the Dáil the same day as myself, back in 1981, one of the longest-serving Fine Gael TDs, he's been put in an interim, clean pair of hands to deal with this issue, and of course he has been Minister for Enterprise and Employment with vast experience, so that steadies the ship. But there is no doubt, just looking at the visible appearance of the Taoiseach, that he looks somewhat shaken. It is a crisis for him. Of course, he's only Taoiseach for about 18 months. And I think the set of events this afternoon came to him as a complete surprise, although the inevitability of him getting rid of his Minister for Communications seems to have been set fair. There are rumours around that there are other ministers, members of government, who may have met with David McCourt. So the first question you've got to ask yourself, because the Taoiseach reiterated there that he himself had met Mr McCourt. So if it's a hanging offence for Denis Naughton to go on foot of meetings, I think that will be an area that the opposition party leaders will be pursuing.